You were on a thought.
Welcome everybody. This event is hosted by Murray and Joe Applebaum for people to understand how to be able to properly plan an event, promote an event, fill an event, actually have people show up to the event, and then make sure that the event is successful. So we're going to go through the process of understanding what type of events people actually want to go, what to call an event, what not to call an event, how to be able to properly set it up, how to make sure that people actually come to the event, like what DMs to send them, how to be able to DM people, how to be able to invite people, all the technical things on how to do that. And then also where to put it, what platform to use, how to get people to actually show up to the event, because a lot of the times people will say they want to come to an event and they don't show up to the event. And then finally, how to maximize events for the future, just in general. So I have a question for you guys in the chat. If you guys don't mind, let me know. Have you hosted an event so far in 2025? Yes or no? Say, I hosted, I didn't host, I hosted, I didn't host, I want to host. Go ahead. And like Rick says, if he hosted more than one event, write how many you did. I hosted 5 events. I host events weekly. Let me know what the story is with your event experience, so I know where you guys are at in your journey of events. Let me know in the chat. No, but I want to. Events have really changed my life. I used to have the mindset in my head is like, no one's going to attend a webinar. That's like what I thought in my head. Why would anybody want to attend a webinar? I don't attend webinars. Why would I want to attend a webinar? But then I asked myself, do you attend networking events? Yes. Do you attend classes? Yes. Do you attend courses? Yes. Do you attend places that your friends hang out in? Yes. Do you attend Zooms from people that invite you to a Zoom graciously, or dinners? Yes. Do you attend like coffees? Yes. And so just because you're calling it a webinar, like a sales webinar, which we all hate being sold to, right? Everyone here hates being sold to. You go to a webinar and the guy's telling a story about his cat and how it fell out the window and how he wants you to be successful and blah, 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 blah. That's not what anybody wants to watch anymore. People are sick of that. They tried that. It worked for a while. It doesn't work anymore. But webinars still work well if you learn how to do them properly, and you learn how to bring people together, and you learn what people actually want and who you're bringing together. I just attended an event that I spoke at for a group called PRG. Ganesh was there. There were almost 100 people in the room. I mean, that was fantastic.
Wow.
So, I used to think that if there was less than, 30, 40, 50 people or less than 100 people in a room, it wouldn't be worth me even presenting. But realize that it's about getting the right people in the room. And even if only one person shows up to an event, it's worth making the event, and it's worth presenting the event, because you always have the recording that you could repurpose for YouTube, for LinkedIn Live, and make it into shorts, and you have the content, and it's like practice. I did an event about 10 years ago. When I started doing events about 10 years ago, I did an event. I scheduled a webinar for an organization called Kosher Fest. It's where all the kosher stores come together. It was called Kosher Fest. They had, and I said, you know what? I'm going to market to all the 500 people I'm exhibiting. I'm going to say how to prepare for Kosher Fest. And I did it, and I invited all the companies that were going there. And like at least 50 people said they were going to come. And I was all excited and I was pumped. And I didn't know all the hacks I'm going to teach you today. And I showed up to the webinar and nobody was there. And I was relieved. I was like, okay, at least I don't have to do it. Then all of a sudden, bing, one person shows up. I'm like, holy crap. And I heard a rabbi once say, what's worth the no one coming to your event? One person showing up to your event. Because now you have to do it. now, now you have to do it for one person. Okay. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make believe everybody's here. I'm going to make believe all 50 people are here. And I'm going to talk to everyone because nobody could see each other. Over here, there's transparency. Everyone can see there's 30 people in the room with a couple note takers. But, in general, like you can't really, if it's a webinar software, you can't really see who's on this webinar. So you could just see, it looks like there's a lot of people there and like, oh, look, Sally, no, no, no. And so I made believe there's a lot of people there. And this person was totally engaged with me. They were like in the comments, I'm like, what city you're dialing from? Oh, I see Martha from St. Louis and David from, and I was just going on and on and on. And all of a sudden, this guy, I see him, he's like from Brooklyn, New York. His name is John or whatever from Brooklyn. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so I start talking, and then at the end of it, the guy wants to set up a call with me, and he starts it, and he becomes a client after that, and he's spending $5,000 a month with our agency. And I was like, holy crap. And that's when I totally was just hooked on events. I was like, okay, so even if only one person shows up to the event, even if nobody shows up to the event, it's worth it. That's the lesson that I learned. Rick, you have a question?
Yeah, I was just going to add on to that, Joe, for you and Murray. We held that event yesterday, which was my first one in your community, and great turnout. I thought we had a great event, but the preparation I went through to get ready for that was like priceless because I did two or three things I've been procrastinating about for a while to get ready that help is now going to help me going forward in everything else I do.
Amazing, amazing. So if you're brand new to events, know that Rick did his first event and it was a smashing success. If you're an evyAI Pro member, if you're not a Pro member, upgrade to Pro because this way we want Pro members to be hosting events in our community for our people and for yourself. So if you're not Pro, make sure to update to Pro. I see some people here are still Premium. If you want to upgrade to Pro, just go to evyai.com/bundle and you'll be able to upgrade to Pro. But let me show you guys the process. Step number one is you have to really understand who your target market is, what problem you're trying to solve for them. So if you go through the Evergreen networking system, there's the plan, the people, and the promise. So you're not going to create an event that's going to cater to event planners, and it's also going to cater to marketing directors, and it's also going to cater to job seekers and CEOs that have $50 million companies and CFOs that have just lost their job. You know what I mean? It's not going to all cater to the same people unless they're all of a certain faith and you're doing it about their faith, or they're sort of a certain age, or they were alumni of a certain college. So you got to find out what is the pains and the goals of your target market, and how is this event going to help them be able to solve that pain or that goal that will help them be able to achieve whatever they want to achieve. What is the promise of your event? So in the chat, do you have an event that you'd like to host, and what problem would you solve with that event? So for example, this event I'm hosting for people who want to host events, on how to be able to create an event and get people to show up to your event and make your event successful. So what would be the idea for your event? For example, Rick did an event on social proof. It started off as recommendations, but it turned into a whole social proof, and now he's going to be doing it 2 times a month apparently, where people are going to come and they're going to learn how to be able to do social proof. They're going to recommend each other, endorse each other, support each other. And it can extend to like social proof on websites, and social proof in testimonials, and social proof from so many different things. So what's your thing that you're going to do? I know Rhonda loves profile optimization. So she did a profile optimization class not too long ago. And she can do more profile optimization parties if she wants to in our community. So I want you guys to think about what type of party you're going to want to host, or what type of event you're going to want to host. Now, the reason why people come to the posting parties is because I don't call them engagement pods. I tried to make engagement pods, and people were like, I don't want an engagement pod. I hate engagement pod. I'm like, okay, why don't we do a posting party? And they're like, oh, yeah, I want to come to the party. Let's come to the party. And it speaks to people emotionally, and they like it. So the name of your event is an extremely important event, a thing. It's the name of the event. The name has to be telling something. So what would you call an event? What would you call your event? So naming it is really important. Whatever you're going to name it, keep it short, keep it to the point, and make sure that people understand what the value proposition is of the event. So what is the event going to be called, and how are you going to be able to leverage this event to help be able to solve a problem for people? So when they look at it, they're like, oh my God, this is a great event. This is the type of event that I wouldn't want to be going to. So once you have your event and you know what it is, and it's speaking to the pains and goals of your clients, and you would test out, hear me out, guys. This is very, very important. You would test out the event to identify if somebody would actually want to come to that event before you actually even have a date for it. So you say the following. Check this, guys. I'm going to test this out on you guys, and let's see if this works in the comments. You guys ready to leave a comment? Okay, watch this. This is what I'm going to do. Next week, I'm going to host an event on how to manage your connections on LinkedIn and make a dashboard to segment all of your connections. Okay, how to manage your connections on LinkedIn and segment all your connections. It's called a Connections Dashboard Strategy Session. Who would like to attend? Write dashboard in the chat. If you would like to attend the Connections Dashboard Strategy Session, let me know. Look how many people saying they're interested. Now, do you guys see that you guys are interested in attending this type of event? So what I would do is I would message 100 connections a day, and I would say, I'm doing a strategy to allow you to teach you how to segment your connections, and I have a Connections Dashboard Strategy Session. Would you be interested in attending this event that I'm going to be hosting in the next couple of weeks? And keep me in mind, keep me in mind, keep me in mind, or hell no, that's not something I'd be interested in. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're kind of testing the waters. You do that to 100 people a day across 10 days. Now you message 1,000 people. Let's say 20% responded to you. Okay. Let's say these are people that you're actually vetted. They're actually active on LinkedIn. 20% of them said, yes, I'm interested. Keep me in mind, depending on the date, if I'm available. Tell me more about it. What is this? Right? You're going to get all types of stuff like that. And let's say you get 50 people that say that they're interested in coming. Okay. 50 people. That means that a lot of the, out of 1,000, 200 actually saw it and responded, and 50 were compelled and said they want to come. That's a good number to say that, oh my gosh, this is a good name for it. This is a good type of event that my target market would like. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I did something called a roundtable. There's a lot of different ways to name events. You guys get what I'm saying? I named something called a boot camp, a roundtable, an accelerator. And by the way, I learned this from the book $100 Million Offers. Naming your event is really important. So I hit up a bunch of marketing directors, to be exact, 8,000 of them, and I messaged them over time. And I said, would you be open to coming to a marketing directors roundtable for successful marketing directors to network with each other and learn best practices of being a marketing director? Are you open to coming to a future event? And you know what? Out of the 8,000 of them, only about 10% responded. About 800 of them responded. And out of those 800 of them responded, about 50% said, absolutely not. I'm not interested at all. Please take me off your goddamn list. And, and 50% of them said either some sort of like, tell me more about it. When is the next one? I'm really busy. I'm swamped. No, I would love to come. Please keep me in mind to every single one, blah, 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 blah. I had a repository of at least 300 marketing directors that expressed interest in coming. And when I did the event, I would have 40 to 50 people coming to the event. But I first tested it out by messaging a lot of people over a period of time to identify if they even have interest. You guys get what I'm saying? Now, I've tested out many different types of events, and I've gotten zero, crickets, nothing, or I've just gotten no's. And those events I've never even established. You know, I never even did those events because nobody was even interested in coming to an event.
Joe, can you
Another,
repeat the question that you just asked marketing director? Somebody asked that. I think that's a yeah, that was a great tip. Do you remember the question?
would you be open to coming to a marketing directors roundtable that I will be hosting?
Very good.
Simple as that. Would you like to come to a marketing directors roundtable that I will be hosting to meet other marketing directors and to learn best practices for marketing directors?
Just
Now
so
you,
can I throw so my DM that I used when I was promoting Joe's evyAI presentation was we're doing a presentation on how to get more clients on LinkedIn with using AI. Would you be open to? I didn't give him the link. I said, would you be open? Are you interested in attending? So
and
it's
the key word is creating curiosity.
yes.
Creating curiosity. That's the key word there. Creating curiosity. What does it mean to create curiosity? Is to make a person want to respond. That's the key. Because this way they might be interested and they won't respond, but if you don't create curiosity, it's not exciting for them. It's almost like walking over to somebody and just giving them stuff. It's transactional. You want the relation, you want the dance. You know, you want it to be a little exciting. Everybody wants a little bit of excitement in their life. Rick said piquing their interest. That's the name of the game. Right. That's what it's about. It's about getting them excited, getting their antenna up and saying, this is something I want. And when they say it's something they want, then when you invite them, they're much more likely to show up to that type of event. Now, a lot of people are not interested in posting parties or engagement groups or anything like that. They don't even post on LinkedIn. So often what I'll do is I'll message people and say, hey, I'm doing a little party on LinkedIn where people that post on LinkedIn get to know each other and then they can like and comment on each other's content. Is that something that would remotely interest you? And 50% of the people that respond will say no. And 50% of the people that respond will say yes. And if I hit up enough people, I'm going to get a nice group of people. You guys get what I'm saying? And that's a method of being able to get people interested. Now, let's say you have your event and you decided, okay, I'm doing an event. When should I do my event? When's the best time to do an event? Well, you could set a date depending on where the location is of the people. So, for example, if somebody's in Saudi Arabia, it's going to be very different than if they're in Brooklyn, New York. Am I right about that? You're going to set it up based. And also, is this the type of event that people would only attend during work hours? Or is this the type of event that people would only attend in evening hours? If it's for people that have jobs, you don't want to do it during their job. They're never going to attend. If it's for people who are very busy and they're just only available on weekends, you might want to do your event on a weekend. You might want to do an event in morning if it's for people that are maybe a little bit older that go to sleep at 8 p.m. You do it for them at 4 in the morning, like that, depending on the demographic that you're doing, you'll do it at different times for the different types of people.
Joe, would it be okay if we called on somebody to give an example, like Rhonda, who uses the phrase, would it make sense? I love her phraseology. Rhonda, let's put her on the spot.
Go ahead, Rhonda. Rhonda, unmute yourself. Share.
Thanks, Rick. Okay, so what do you want? I was actually playing around with writing my thing. So what was
inviting people to join one of your events? How would you DM them? What would you put in your message to entice them to want to be interested in it?
Phrasing.
Okay, so what I would do is I would create a dub video. Okay, after I do the invitation, the follow-up is I create the dub video and I basically say, hey, just wanted to make sure that you saw the invitation to my event. And I'll tell you what I named it because I was just messing around with it here. Because I asked it to come up with the name. Okay. The rapport shortcut, unlock hidden clues in every LinkedIn profile. Okay, so that's the name for the event. Just wanted to make sure you did. Just wanted to make sure that you saw the invitation. If you show up in person, by the way, there are going to be some free gifts. So there is an advantage to being on camera, and I just do it using Dub as video. But when I send out the invitations, I basically just send them to the event site. I use my company page because then I can use the registration. I continue to send reminders over and over, so that the people that signed up. And then I actually download all the names and I send them through Zoom with a reminder because I have their email addresses.
Amazing.
Yeah, but specifically what I was talking about, Rhonda, was where you say, since this seems to be something of interest to you, would it make sense if I sent you the invite to the
yeah. So
uses that phraseology to get permission.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what I would say. I would say, since this looks like it's right up your alley, and that there would be some major takeaways for you, would it make sense for me to send you the link to the event? And then what I put is, P.S. If you know people that could, benefit from this, feel free to share the link with anybody. So I want to just reach out to their network as well because they may know people.
Amazing.
So that's what I do.
Thank you, Rhonda, and thank you, Rick, for bringing up Rhonda's suggestion. Now, one of the things that I love to do is to put up something called a LinkedIn poll. Have you guys ever put up a poll on LinkedIn? Poll. A LinkedIn poll allows people to vote on something. So if I'm going to do a learning event, what I would do is I would ask people to do me a favor and vote. And what I would ask is a very simple question. What would you rather learn? Would you rather learn posting? Would you rather learn how to get engagement on posts? Or would you rather learn how to message people so that they'll actually respond? Let's try that in the chat right now. Would you rather learn how to post so people will view it? Would you rather learn how to get engagement on your post so people will like and comment on it? Or would you rather learn how to be able to get messages to people so that they'll actually reply? Go ahead in the comments. Let me know which one you want to do. Now, keep this in mind. When you do a poll like this, people will vote on your poll and they'll tell you the type of event that you should be doing because they'll tell you exactly what type of event you'll be doing. And then you'll already have a bunch of people that said they were interested. So now if you get 100 people to vote on your poll, and you'll have to work hard to make that happen, it's not just going to happen automatically. You're not suddenly just going to go viral and get 100 people to vote on your poll. What you're going to do is you're going to do a poll promotion campaign where you send somebody a message, say, hey, I just did a survey on LinkedIn. Can I send you the poll so you can help me out? Simple as that. I just did a survey on LinkedIn. Can I send you the link so that you can help me out and vote so that I can learn what people actually want? Because I'm putting together an agenda. And then keep very, very open, making very, very curious, and send it like that. So look at what people voted here. People said engagement, messages, 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 messages. So guys, let me ask you a question. Should I do something about engagement or should I do something about messages? Write DM in the chat if you think DM would be more lucrative for people based on the feedback I just got right here. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's another way to be able to find people that are interested in your events. The other thing that I would do is I would go to linkedin.com/events and I would find events in your network. So let me just quickly show you how to do that. Murray, can I share my screen? That's okay?
Hopefully.
Okay. So if I go to linkedin.com/events, check this out. You can find events in your network. So for example, you see this event. There's events that I went to, events that are recommended for me. And as you scroll through the events over here, you're going to see some events have a lot of members. So for example, this one over here is the immersive experience for authentically engaged community. This one has 70 people coming. This one has 300 people coming in Liverpool. So what I can do is I can go to this event over here. I can say that I'm coming to this event. You see that? I'm going to hit submit, that I'm coming to this event. And the way that you capture that person's email is if it's from a business page, you're able to capture their email. If it's from your personal, it's not going to work, the email capture thing. So when you're creating an event on LinkedIn, if you create it from a business page, you can actually connect it with make.com or Zapier, and you can also pull emails right into your management system to be able to email them. So I just gave them my email from LinkedIn. And if I go into where it says networking over here, I can see all the people that are coming to this event. You see 305 people are coming to this event. And so if
Boom.
this is an event that's relevant, these are people that say they're coming to an event. That means that they're not only active on LinkedIn, they're event goers. You get what I'm saying? They're event goers. These are the types of people that are likely to go to other events as well. And they're likely to say they're going to go to an event. So I can hit up these people in this particular industry, or if I want more filters, you can click on where it says 305 attendees. It'll load up the filter with the event up here, and then you can start messing around with this. For example, I'm going to check any first degree people, no first degree. I can do second degree people over here, and this will show me all the second degree people that we have over here. And if I want to put these people into a spreadsheet, you just take them and put them into a spreadsheet by copying everything that's here and using one of the tools that we provide inside our community at evyAI.com. You press login. On the left side, you click on community. Once you go into the community, you go to the classroom. Once you're in the classroom, you go to the library. Once you're in the library, you go to the special links. When you're in the special links, you go to where it says Search Saver. Right over here, it says Search Saver. You open up Search Saver, and then you can paste all the people from there, press Process Data, and now you have a list of all the people that are going to that event in a spreadsheet. You get it? Okay, I went a little fast over there, but that's why we have office hours, and that's why Carlos is here to be able to help with that. Rhonda, go ahead.
So just a quick question. If you found somebody else's event that was your audience, right? But you're doing something different, and obviously you're not going to be connected to those people. It used to be that it used to allow you to message to those folks. Now it doesn't. So if I were to, yeah, like, okay, I don't know whose event that is. Whose event is that?
Well, I just searched LinkedIn right now. I'm going to click on, instead of people, I can actually
Click on
search events. Yep.
Okay, so I look, and what I do is I look to find, like, there's 39 people. Okay, so, or whatever, it doesn't matter. So those 39 people are probably people that would be interested in knowing about my roundtable, which is how to get to know any prospect by reading their LinkedIn profile, right?
Correct.
So if I want to I know I have to click attend, like I'm going to attend. How do I, using your amazing tools, grab all these folks and be able to then, because I'm not connected to them, right? But I want to invite them to my event because I already know they've raised their hand and said they're interested in a topic that is related to what I do.
Yeah, what I would do is I would just connect with all of them, and I would send them a message, say, I noticed you're going to the Unlock event. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Would love to get to know you. And then once they accept the invitation, then you say, hey, by the way, here's the event, and then invite them. The beauty of putting them into a spreadsheet, you see I have 440 over here, 38, 39. Yep. I can easily copy and paste them all into this spreadsheet over here. You see there's a spreadsheet. I can copy and paste them all into here. And then, boom, process. And I can do this 4 times, and I'll have all 40 in a spreadsheet.
Go back, Joe, I can show you a shortcut. You can do it all at once. Go back to the event.
Go back to the event. I'm here. Hang on a second. I'm at the event.
Go up. Go to manage attend. Go to. Are you in there?
It's not my event. It's someone else's event.
Okay, so if you accept it, you can see.
I accepted it. I'm in it.
All right, maybe you can only do that on your own event. So
yeah, you probably only can do it on your own event. But if you want to be
able
to
manage attendees, it all comes out on one list. But I guess you can't do it on somebody else's event. My bad.
You can't do it on somebody else's event. However, let me see how many people are here. Hang on, let me click on see all. You might, yeah, you can do it on 4 pages here.
4 pages. Yep. All right.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it all at once, but you can see it like this. If there was a way to see it all at once, that'd be great. I'd love that. There is a way to be able to automatically pull all 4 pages. I'm gonna build out a little app that will programmatically go from page to page to page. But I'm going to do it privately so that nobody knows about it. Go ahead,
Joe, is there a way to get the email addresses of those folks? Because a good
Yes.
number of those aren't going to connect, right? So they're not
There are
connected
two
to
there are
you.
two tools to get email addresses. One of them is called Apollo. Apollo. I keep it off when I keep it off when I don't use it. The other tool that I use is called Contact Out. I also keep it off when I don't use it. So I'll show you. I'm going to turn them both on just to kind of show you how it works. So let's say Becky, I'm going to refresh her page over here so that the Apollo logo comes up on the left side over here somewhere once the page loads. You see Apollo just came up. Now that Apollo's open, I'm going to hit save access email, and it's going to, now it says it didn't find her email. So I can just give up hope and just say I can't find Becky's email, or I can try Contact Out. Contact Out's a different system, and Contact Out has a bunch of emails for her. You see that? So when
Is
Apollo
that a Chrome
fails,
extension, Joe?
yes, it's a
Contact
Chrome
out?
extension. Contact Out's a Chrome extension, and it costs $0 to use for up to 100 emails that you find. And then after that, it's $50 a month for up to 2,000 emails a month.
And the
That is
fallback is to go into contact info on their profile.
Okay, and so contact info on their profile. So let's check that. See if there's anything here. There's nothing here.
Nothing there for
And
her.
the
Yeah.
fallback on that, Rhonda, is if you're an evyAI Pro user and you don't want to spend any money on anything else, you literally just save her profile. You see, I'm going to save her profile over here.
Oh,
I hit
yeah.
save profile, and once I save her profile into evyAI, I can tag her about what the event that she's going to, whatever event she's going to, right? And then
yeah.
I open up her profile, and then I can deploy any of these agents here that will search the internet for her, or
Beautiful.
not just her LinkedIn, but everything about her. But yes.
Yeah, I did that this morning with somebody that it was actually trying to reach. Somebody had looked at my profile and I thought, oh my gosh, I can help this person because I work with somebody in their industry. So I reached out to him and I asked him, I said, hey, who's the person in charge of training? Do you think this would be beneficial? He said, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know her well enough. I can just give you her name. So I went out and I did exactly what you're saying, but I literally could not find her phone number. So what I did do was I sent her something through Sales Nav.
Oh, that's amazing. And also, if you can find someone's contact information, hit me up and I'll just do a little bit of research for you. I'm always happy to try to help you. If you feel like it's a really important person and you're looking for their info, I have other ways. So I showed you two tools that I use. One of them's Apollo, another one's Contact Out. The other one that I like to use is called Been Verified. So if you really want to go deep, you could use Been Verified and find out people's information here. Just be careful how you use it because there's illegal ways. There are certain things you're not allowed to do that are illegal. Like you're not allowed to do searches on people that you're about to hire or something like that. But over here, this will find you all the different Beckys. If you know what location she's from, you can kind of tie it all together. And then it'll tell you everything about the person, including their phone number, their address, where they live, and all that jazz. And this one's like $200 a year for that. But I would kind of be careful when you're using that one because, it is a little bit of a background check and you got to make sure that you're careful when you're using that. Okay, Latha, you have a question? Go ahead. You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to get a strategy. I am planning to have that event with you, Joe, for evyAI. Started to gain some traction. I have not hosted anything like this, so wanted to have a good strategy to make it a great success. From
Amazing.
now till June 11th, what are the things I should be doing? I don't have
Okay.
any idea.
Okay.
I
Well,
am going to write my notes too when you're talking. Go ahead, please.
amazing. So what you need to do is what I'm explaining to everybody else that you need to do is step number one is identify who in your network wants to come to that type of event. That would be step number one. Who wants
Mhm.
to be invited to the event? Okay, so
Okay.
step number one is once you understand the event and you know when the event is, you need a template to send a direct message to all of your connections to determine if they want to come to the event. After you finish sending a message to all of your connections, you can find other people that might want to come to those events, like what I just showed Rhonda, is by searching other events that are like that and find event goers. You can save them to a spreadsheet, you can connect with them, have a custom connection note as a template that's ready to go for people that you're inviting to see if they want to come to the event. Now, remember, don't just say, I'm hosting an event. This is the date. This is the link. Sign up. Don't do that. No one's going to respond to that. People are annoyed by that. What you want to do is what's going to work a little bit harder for you. It is a little bit more work, but it'll get you actual responses, which is I'm hosting an event about this topic in the next couple of weeks. Would you be open to coming? Because if you tell them exactly when it's going to be, they're going to be like, I can't make it. I can't make it. It's over. I can't make it. But you're going to be doing it often. And so you want to just see if they're even interested. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Okay.
you kind of have to like pique their interest, see if they're even interested. And if they are, now they're the people that you add to every event moving forward. The
Question.
reason,
Sorry,
Okay,
Joe.
go ahead.
So, what do you mean by a template versus what the sentence I'm sending now?
Okay, what I mean by a template is, let's say, for example, I'm going to share my screen just to kind of show you what I mean by a template. Let's say, for example, I want to invite people to an event that's coming up. So I have an event about dashboards. I'm going to go into my evyAI
Okay.
templates. I'm going to click on add a
Mm-hmm.
new template. I'm going to call it dashboard event.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put it under a message here.
Got
Okay.
it.
So I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to make a new one called event. I'm going to do a new one called events. Okay, so I just made a new tag called events. So whenever I'm promoting an event, I'm going to use this new tag. And I'm going to say, I am hosting an event next week about how to manage your connections on LinkedIn using a dashboard. Would you be interested? Would you be interested in joining me? It's on Zoom. Let
Okay.
me know. Let me know if you wanna come. Okay? So do you see where I wrote you wanna come?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that makes it really easy for me to determine if they want to come or not. Because you have to ask permission if they want to come or not. So I'm hosting an event. So in this case, I'm just going to do it for, let's say, for example, Lisa. I'm just going to do it for Lisa's. I'm going to go here. I'm going to press save. And you see there's a custom message called Lisa. I'm hosting an event, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go into my network over here. I'm just going to search Lisa, and I want to see if any of the Lisas want to come to the event. I'm going to go here. I'm going to search Lisa. And you see there's a bunch of Lisas here. So I'm going to click on message here. It's going to pop open into a new message. And then I'm going to go here and send her this message here. Lisa, I'm hosting an event next week. It's about how to manage your connections on LinkedIn using a dashboard. Would you be interested in joining me? It's on Zoom. Now, this Lisa hasn't responded to anything over here, which is fine. Okay, I see that
Mm-hmm.
she hasn't responded to anything in a while. So, and she does have 28,000 followers over here. I'm going to click on contact info here. You see I have her email address.
Yeah.
I can also send her an email with the same message saying, Lisa, I'm hosting an event. Don't say things like, oh, I sent you a message on LinkedIn and I didn't get back for you, blah, blah, blah. Don't start arguing with them. Make believe you didn't send them anything and also send them that template as a message like that. So I would kind of do both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two things that I would do. And I would just do it to all of your connections. So how many connections do you have now, Lafa?
3,000.
Amazing. So you have 3,000 connections. Make sure to message all your 3,000 connections. And now you know exactly how to do that. And it'll also give you a reason to message all your connections to see if they're even interested in anything. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to do Lisa. Now, if you want to get all these Lisas into one spreadsheet quickly so that you could pay attention, all
I,
you
I,
got to all you
I
got to
have.
do is type in Lisa. Watch
Mhm.
this. Type in Lisa. Load all the Lisas. Marie knows how to do this. You load all the Lisas. You select all the Lisas like this once you load them all. You see that? I have
Mm-hmm.
a group of Lisas. Then I go into the community under the special links. At the bottom here, we have something called My Network Saver or Message Link. I open it up. Then I paste the list of Lisas here and I click on Process Connections. And now not
Not
only
only.
do I have first
Can
name, last name, but I also have a messaging link here. And this
Do you mind
messaging link,
posting that link for the in our group right now? My
it's in
network.
it's
It's already just put.
it's in
Okay.
our group. It's right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? It's in our
Uh-huh.
group. It's in the library. But do you see the way we have everything here? All the message link is
Mm-hmm.
here. So you can click on this message link. Watch, I'm going to control click on this message link and it's going to open up in a new window. Now you see it's automatically messaging Lisa Lawrence. Now that it's messaging Lisa Lawrence, I literally push the up arrow here and I hit send. And I can do this for each Lisa right now. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to click on this. It's opening up in a new tab automatically. You see that?
Mm.
And I'm going to click in here and I'm going to hit message just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this. Then I'm going to click on the next Lisa and then I'm going to click on this. So we're not using automation, right? We're doing everything
Yeah.
in compliance with LinkedIn's terms and conditions, but we're keeping track of everything that we're doing. If you want to keep track of it on a spreadsheet, you just press copy table. You go to sheets.new. You see that?
Uh,
You go to sheets.new, you paste in the spreadsheet here, and you can do the same thing with all these messages. So you can keep track of who said yes and who didn't.
and I have another question, Joe. So these people, when they're getting this message from me, they should not feel that I'm trying to sell something to them. So how can we make sure
Are you
that?
trying to sell them something? Yes or no?
No, I'm
Does
not.
your message say that you're trying to sell them something? Yes or no?
No,
So
we're not.
why do you think that they think that you're trying to sell them something?
I get a lot of messages like that from people. So I think that Why are they
Because
messaging? I don't even know them. If they are my connection,
it
doesn't mean
doesn't
that.
matter. It doesn't matter if you know them or don't know them. If they're your connections, you have the right to invite them to an event. If you want to take a softer approach, you could send them a message saying something like "Happy birthday." And
Okay.
even if it's not their birthday, you could still say happy birthday. You want to know why? Because eventually we'll get around to it. They'll see it and they'll see happy birthday. And most people are too dumb. They don't even know when you sent the message. So they'll think you sent it to them on their birthday. They're going to come 3 months from now. They're going to look at them like, oh shit, I missed a happy birthday from Latha. So sorry, I'm getting back to you so late. I always do that. I send people happy birthday. When they don't respond to me, I just say happy birthday. They'll either ignore it. They'll either say it's not my birthday, or they'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. I missed the birthday message you sent me. That was so sweet of you. And then I'll reply with, you owe me one. Because
Okay.
you didn't say happy birthday to me. I sent you happy birthday. You didn't say happy birthday to me. So I feel like a little neglected here. I need a little aftercare, you know? Like I need you to come to my house and give me a massage and maybe buy the bundle while you're at it. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So or whatever. You could just say, did you just look at my profile or was that a glitch? You know, something like that. And they'll be like, what do you mean look at your profile? I was like, I don't know. LinkedIn told me you looked at your profile. What do you need? And they're like, well, I don't need anything. Why are you bothering me? I was like, I don't know. Blame LinkedIn. Blame LinkedIn. Don't blame me. Let's have a conversation. I'd love to get to know you. We're talking now. Would you want to come to my event? Whatever it takes to get somebody to respond. I just sent somebody a message yesterday and I said, Allison, are you still using LinkedIn? Because I'm trying to clean up my connections. Let me know if you're still using LinkedIn. It's been a while. And she replied to me, obviously, you're not looking at my profile because I'm using it all the time. But this is a really great message. I'm going to use it for my connections. Well done, Joe. And then she wrote lol. And I was like, amazing. I'm glad you could use it. Use it as much as you want. This is why I do what I do. And she's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm calling your cell right now. And I called her and she didn't pick up. And that's okay. By the way, I called up 10 people yesterday. None of them picked up. 2 of them called me this morning. While I'm in bed, 2 of them called me. So from bed, I did 2 prospecting calls, which was amazing. Amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, getting back to it. So, Latha, number one is you got to get people, a list of people that are interested. Once you have your list of people that are interested, you guys already know, I already exhausted that. You guys know how to find people that are interested, right? You know how to DM them, you know what to say. You have enough. You know how to make spreadsheets of people that are interested. You know how to find their emails. You know how to email them. You know how to do all that.
Yeah.
Once you have a list of people, now Murray did an event, 240 people raised their hand and said they're interested. Okay. And they actually registered for the event after. And when they register for the event, you can't just assume they're going to show up. Why?
So when should I send out the invitation? What's the timing? I'm going to start sending out these emails and messages for
When
knowing.
people respond that they're interested, then send them the invitation.
So everybody will be able to see each other who is registered? Or can I
Everybody
go?
will see on LinkedIn when somebody registers to a LinkedIn event, you can see who registered. Yes.
But we are going to have a webinar, I thought.
We are going to have a webinar, but my recommendation is to create a LinkedIn event. Now, let me teach you how to do that right now, Latha. Watch this. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to teach you how to create a LinkedIn event. You go to linkedin.com. You go to linkedin.com. Check this out. And on the top over here, do you see it says start a new post? When you click on start a new post, you click on the plus sign, and then you have different options. You have add a video, you have add a photo, you have create an event. Create an event? That's amazing. So I'm going to click on create an event, and now it lets you put up a photo of the event. It allows you to say if it's online or in person. It allows you to select the format of the event. Is it a LinkedIn Live or external? In your case, because it's a webinar, we're going to do an external event. And in the external event, we're going to write http://www.evy.highenergyzoom.com. Then you select the time for the event. You can do the time when it begins and the time
So
when it ends.
it should not be my Zoom link. It should be high energy.
No, it could be your Zoom link. You'll put
Okay.
your Zoom link in there.
Okay. Then go down. Okay. Then yeah.
Okay, so the event name is going to be Hanging with Joe. Okay, with Joe Applebaum. Hanging with Joe Applebaum. We're just going to make an event called Hanging with Joe Applebaum, and we're going to add a cover photo to the event. We're going to go to my pictures. We're going to go actually to my downloads, and we're going to find a random picture of Joe Applebaum. Okay, that's not a good picture of Joe Applebaum, but that's not a bad picture. You know, I recently went on a flight, and I meditated, and I did a whole photo of me meditating. But let me just quickly find a photo of Joe Applebaum real quick. Let me move this over here to this side here. Let me quickly find. I have so many photos of myself. I do take a lot of photos of myself.
That event is the Free Joe the Hostage event.
Oh my God, yes. The free Joe from being a hostage.
Free
on a
Joe
airplane.
event.
Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to change the photo here, and I'm going to pull this photo here like that. Okay, so I'm going to press. So you guys like this photo? Yes, better photo,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit apply. So now I have the photo. It's online. It's called Hanging with Joe Applebaum. When should we do this photo? When should we do this event? Maybe we'll do this event on next, I don't know, maybe next Thursday or something. So we need some time for the event to happen, right? So let me just make sure I look at my calendar. Let's see when the event is going to happen, the 29th. Okay, I have some time on the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Okay, so we're going to do the 29th at 10:30 a.m. So we're going to go here, and we're going to do 10:30 a.m. All right, so we're going to go and schedule an event right now. So hang with Joe Applebaum, 10:30 a.m. The external link is going to be highenergyzoom.com. The description, I'm going to have evyAI write me a description real quick. Come hang with Joe and learn all about Joe and everything that he does in life. We're going to be talking about vibe coding. We're going to be talking about marketing, prospecting, networking, and also we're going to be talking about my upcoming class. Okay, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to paste this over here. Okay, come hang with Joe Applebaum. We're going to be talking about blah, 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 blah. You see that? Now, if I want to add an end time, I can add an end time over here. I can also add the end time as 11 a.m. because I don't want to conflict with Steve's template party. So I added the end time here. So it's just a 30-minute event. I can add myself as a speaker, Joe Applebaum. I could also add Latha as a speaker, just to kind of show you how that worked. And I could also add Rhonda as a speaker. Rhonda as a speaker. And I could also add Elisa as a speaker. Elisa. And I could also add Rick as a speaker. And I could also add Murray as a speaker. You see that? I'm adding all you guys as speakers here. So I'm going to click on next. And now I can write my thoughts about this event. So this event is attached, but I don't have anything over here. So I'm just going to click on generate here. You see, and it's going to say, come hang with Joe and learn about everything about Joe, blah, blah, blah,
Where
blah,
is the
blah.
generate? Where is the generate? I didn't see.
On the right
Oh,
side in
right
the
side.
side
Okay, okay,
panel.
okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
hit
okay,
generate.
okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
And I'm going to say, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information in marketing and prospecting? You're not alone. Many of us, recently I did dive into vibe coding, blah, blah, blah. I'm also excited to share a hosting session, blah, blah, blah. Let's spark the conversation. If you found this, okay. So instead of saying, if you found this valuable, what I'm going to say, come join me for 30 minutes where I answer some personal questions about how to make $1 million. Tell me if you want to join and what topic I should cover. Okay, now I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit post, and I just posted an event. Okay, so do you guys see the way I just posted the event?
Mm-hmm.
Now that I posted the event, it's time for me to invite people to the event. So how am I going to invite people to the event? What am I going to do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the actual event. So I can compose a message over here to remind the speakers. I'm going to click on compose a message, and it automatically, you can check off all these speakers. I can send it as a group. So it'll make a group with all these speakers. I'm going to hit send as a group. And it just sent all the message to the entire group. So let's go to my messaging to see what that looks like. Let me just take a screenshot of everyone that's on Zoom right now, just kind of like the participants list, just to have it. If you guys want to do an actual selfie, we'll do a selfie in a second. But let me just, I realized I didn't take a picture of the participants list. Honey may have, but I didn't. But do you see the way that looks like? I used a thing called Snagit. But let me just quickly show you this over here. Do you see it says 6 people were sent? Hello, I'd like to invite you as a speaker to my upcoming event, Hanging with Joe Applebaum on May 29th. Please confirm your participation by going to the event page. Do you see that? It automatically sends you guys a DM. If I want to be able to edit what this says, I click on the 3 dots, and then I click over here where it says rename conversation. And now I can call this Hanging with Joe Applebaum event. Okay, and I'm going to press save, and now it's called Hanging with Joe Applebaum event. You see that? And I can add more people by clicking on the 3 dots, and I could add more people. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can take a selfie with all of us. You guys want to do a selfie together? Would that be fun, or is that totally lame? What are you guys thinking?
Sure.
You guys think it would be fun for us to do a selfie together? Yes? Yes or yes?
I didn't do my hair, but yes.
You didn't do your hair, but you're wearing underwear. That's enough. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a screenshot. You ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Amazing. I got a beautiful screenshot. Okay, wonderful. You guys are so good. You guys are such goody two shoes. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen over here, and then I'm going to go into the school community and watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go into the school community. I'm going to write something here. I'm actually going to reset this thing here, and I'm going to say the following. I just hosted an incredible event on how to be able to leverage LinkedIn to be able to make an event and make it successful. Here are the people that attended below. I put a beautiful picture of them, and I hope that you can come to an event that I'm doing on May 29th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be a fantastic event all about me, and here's the link. Okay, so now I'm putting this into the community here. I'm pasting in the image of us. Do you guys see this? And then I'm going to call this posting parties and events, and I'm going to say event about events. Come to the next one. And then I'm going to go.
How did you get the link for the event, what we are going to have on the 29th? I don't see that here.
It's not here yet. I'm
Okay.
going to go get it. And the way that I'm going to get it is I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to go to my recent posts and activities. And then I'm going to capture it right from here. Do you see there's a three little dots up here? I'm
Yeah,
going to click
same.
on these
Okay.
three dots, copy the link to the post. I'm just
So
going to grab this part of the post, Control X. And then I'm going to go into the school community. I'm going to link it right here. And then I'm going to hit post. And now I have this beautiful post right over here. I'm going to stop sharing now so I can give it to you guys in the comments so you can see what it looks like. So I just promoted the event on school. So you have to learn how to promote the event. But let me show you how to send it to 1,000 people. Ron, do you have a question?
Yeah, just one quick question. Because you didn't use LinkedIn you didn't use a Zoom registration, you're not going to get the emails of the people that are registering for the event. They're all going to just show up. Is that correct?
That is correct. Everyone that just shows up to they're just going to show up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of the participants list like I just did now. And then I'm going to, when they show up, I'll take the screenshots of the participants list. I'll use the template I have in evyAI to take that screenshot and turn it into a spreadsheet for me. And then I'll tell everyone to put their LinkedIn URL in the comments. And then I'll use big data to get everyone's emails. Because, by the way, anyone that's invited to the event, I'm already going to have their emails anyway because I'm going to do my research before using Apollo, Contact Out, and evyAI's AI research tool. Okay.
Got it.
Thank you, Rhonda. Now, guys, check this out. Now, I need to promote this event. I have an event. I need to promote it. What am I going to do to promote it? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the event. I'm going to go to the event where it says over here, manage. And then I can manage the attendees, edit the event, cancel the event, or delete the event. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to share and I'm going to click on invite. Do you guys see it says invite?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to click on invite over here. And now I can select the people I want to invite. So if there's someone specific that I want to invite, for example, Charlene, I want to invite her. So I check her name off and I press invite. And now Charlene will go to her My Network section over here. And under My Network, it'll say invitations. And under invitations, it'll show up as almost as like, like an event invitation like this. This is how it's going to show up. Do you want to come to the event? No, I don't want to come to the event. No, I don't want to come to the event. But if I did want to come, I would hit yes. You get what I'm saying?
So Joe, quick question again. So there is an option because it's a message is going for all my connections and not even to my connections, anybody. They can register on their own, or I can send
Yes.
invitation, right?
Yes, you can.
Is there
They
an
can. They
option
can
for them to?
register. Yeah, they can
Okay.
register on their own in this event. Now the problem is that no one's ever going to see this post. For some reason, event posts don't really show up on the feed. Okay, have you ever gone on the feed and seen an event? No, it doesn't happen. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to separately promote that post. You're going to want to separately promote the post in the school community, on Twitter, by inviting people manually to the event the way I just showed you, and by inviting people in masses. Do you guys want to see me right now send it to 1,000 people? You guys want to see how I do that? Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to send this to 1,000 people right now. And you can do this every week. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the event. I'm going to go to the actual event. I'm going to click on view event. Then I'm going to click on share. And then I'm going to click on invite. And instead of selecting one person, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a location. For example, I'm going to select Vancouver. Okay, I'm going to select Vancouver over here. And I'm going to see show results. And it's going to show me all the people I'm connected to that are in Vancouver. Then I'm going to scroll down all the way to the way bottom, and these are all the people that are in Vancouver. So now I know I'm inviting all these people in Vancouver. I hit go, and then 48 people from Vancouver were just invited. Do you see that? It says 48 people were invited. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and instead of Vancouver, I'm going to pick Austin, Texas. I'm going to click invite, locations, Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas metropolitan area. I'm going to hit show results. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scroll to the way bottom, wait till everything loads. And once everything finishes loading, I'm going to invite all those people.
Suppose if you want to take off some of them from the
If you want to
list.
take off some of them, you just uncheck it. Okay, so this is by location. I'm going to wait till it finishes loading. Okay, so I'm just going to do these just to show you. Do you see 180 selected? I'm going to hit
Got it.
invite.
Mhm.
If I want to uncheck these, I could uncheck them. Okay, so I just invited 180. So 180 plus 50 is almost 250. Let's go and invite by a different way. So I'm going to click on invite. I'm going to click I'm going to click YPO. I'm going to hit a show. It's going to show me all the people that work for YPO or members of YPO. YPO is companies that are typically over 10 million in revenue. That's what YPO stands for, Young Presidents Organization. So these are all founders of companies that are very large.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share with 118 YPOers. Okay, so 118 people were just invited. You see that? So I'm up to, like, let's say 350 people or whatever. Let's just say 360 people. I'm going to hit invite. And instead of current company, I'm going to do current school. For example, Harvard. So I'm going to invite a bunch of Harvardites. So I'm going to go ahead and invite all the people I'm connected to that went to Harvard. Some of them were, if they were already invited, they're not going to get invited twice. Like Amir and Jennifer were already invited. So they're not going to get invited twice. So all these people went to Harvard. I'm going to go ahead and invite 86 people that went to Harvard.
So how do we know when they register? When they say yes?
I don't know. You register and then we'll see. Go ahead and register. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go.
no. As a host, how can I see? Is it going to come to my email that they have registered, or?
No, you're going to click on manage attendees and you're going to see everybody that's attending.
Okay.
And
I
you
don't
can,
get anything in the email, but my Zoom link should be able to have the capability of having a lot of people come, right?
your Zoom link can handle, if you're paying for Zoom, you should be able to
Yes.
handle 100 people, and you can pay to handle more than 100 people. But don't worry about it. If you get more than 100 people, we'll work it out. But right now,
Okay.
just try to get at least 30 people to show up. But in terms of attendees, if you want 30 people to show up, you're probably going to need to have like 200 people that say that they're coming to the event.
And we won't get anything in our Zoom or anywhere that the attendees, other than here, we cannot see the list of attendees, right?
You can see the list of attendees here. Once they come to Zoom, that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with
Okay.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Okay, so once you get the list of people that are here at this event, then you're going to want to add them to a spreadsheet and get it organized, and then make sure that you email them and say thank you for coming, and blah blah blah. And if you're doing it from a company page, you'll be able to attach this to an automation so that when they sign up, it could automatically go into your CRM. We're not going to cover
Good.
that now because that's too much.
Yeah. Okay. And for the agenda, what should be in the agenda on the day?
Well, we could talk about the agenda after of the agenda once the event starts, or the agenda in general.
No. On the day of the event? I'm going to
Before the
introduce
event
you.
starts. Okay, so
I'll introduce you and you're going to take it, or?
yes, yeah. You introduced me and I got it. You just put me in a room, unlock me, let me go, and I know what to do. I know where to find all the different things to do. If there's anything, you just put me in there and I could just go. Don't worry about me. I already know what to do. Ask Murray. Like I just know what to do already.
One of the advantages of working with Joe is that's a huge thing you have to worry about. Joe
It's a
does that.
huge thing that
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about.
If you're doing your own event, you have to worry about that. But all you got to do is get people there. That's the advantage of this. So it's
just get
a good
people
way
there.
to start.
Exactly. Get people there. So now here's a very important thing you all have to pay attention to before you run away. Here's a very important thing you have to pay attention to. No one's going to come to the event, even if they say they're going to come to the event. So what do you do to make sure that they come to the event is
Reminder.
you have not just a reminder. That's important too. Yes, reminder is important. But you have to add it to their calendar.
This is a huge hack. If you miss this, you're going to blow it.
This is a must. So how do you infiltrate into Rhonda's calendar? How do you infiltrate into Elisa's calendar? How do you infiltrate into Rick, into Murray, into Lori, into Jacob, into Anita, into Bobby, into Keith, into Jeff, into Barbara, into Carlos? How do you infiltrate into Susan's and Latha's and everybody's calendar? How do you get into their calendar?
Because it doesn't happen automatically.
It never happens automatically, and it's not going to happen unless you do the following. Unless you go to google.com/calendar. And then you click on show me a new event. And this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to share my screen right now, and this is what it's going to look like. And some people think this is unethical, but I don't care if they think it's unethical. I don't think it's unethical. I think it's just a marketing ploy. So if I go in here and I type in Elisa, and I go enter, and then I type in Rhonda, and I press enter, and I type in Murray, and I press enter, and I type in Rick, and I press enter, and I type in Latha, and I press enter. Do you guys see what's happening? All their emails are showing up over here. And then
But we don't have this email IDs, right?
You're going to get it. You're going to get
Uh,
it, and you're going to put it in here.
We
Okay?
need emails
thank
to
you.
make this happen.
Okay,
Okay,
so
thank you.
now once you have all their emails, what you want to do is you want to uncheck where it says see check. This is very important because otherwise people are going to get pissed off. You do uncheck see list because otherwise if they reply to all, everyone's going to get the replies saying like take me off your list. What the hell did you add me for? Whatever, right? So you want to uncheck this, and also you want to uncheck this so that nobody can invite anybody else. Okay? If you don't mind people inviting other people, keep this checked on. If you want people just to modify the event, do this. But I would recommend at least taking this off so people can't see each other, okay? Because you don't need everyone to see each other's emails. So remove that. Then in the location, you put the Zoom link to make it really easy, okay? http://www.highenergyzoom.com. You also put the location in the description and also in the title. I put it everywhere. Okay, join Joe Apfelbaum on Zoom. And then over here, May 29th, I'm going to go ahead and do it for 10:30 a.m., ending at 10:55 a.m.
That's the time of the meeting.
That's the
Just so
time of the
everyone
meeting.
knows.
That's the time of the meeting. And if I want to add anybody else from the event, I want to add Charlene.
I put the
Sure.
description of the event in the comments there. The same thing that's on the event page.
Okay, and if you want to get the emails from people on LinkedIn, you just go to LinkedIn. You see who else is going to be at the event. You see over here, there's other people that are coming to the event. As soon as somebody wants to come to the event, you go ahead and you add them to the event. So I see Rick is coming already. Elisa's coming. Murray's coming. So as soon as I see more people that are coming, I'm going to add them here. And then you can describe what you want, what the event will be. Over here in the note, you can say, join me, Joe Apfelbaum, on Zoom for a wonderful session.
Thank you, Joe. I have to jump into a client call. I
All right,
got
no
a lot.
worries. Go. I'm going to hit
Bye-bye.
save
Thank
over
you.
here. And then when you hit send, everybody will get an email and everybody will get an invite to join. And that's that simple.
And it blocks off their calendar so they don't forget.
It blocks off their calendar. Very, very powerful tool. Just that alone is worth everything because that's how people show up to events. Now, in addition to doing that, you also are going to make a separate post on LinkedIn about the event. Because remember, the post we did is worthless. The post is not going to get seen by anybody. Okay? This post is worthless. No one's ever going to see this post. Okay? So it's not even worth promoting the post. What you're going to do with this post is you're going to save the post as a template, so later you're going to put it in the comments of other posts. You see what I'm saying? You're going to post it in the community, and you're going to send it to people in the DM when they say they're interested. This is the invitation link that has this available, but even if you guys comment on this post, it's not helpful. It's not helpful to comment on this post because it's not going to get anywhere, but you could comment on it if you want to. I'm going to make a template over here. I'm going to create a new template. And I'm going to say, hang with Joe event 5-29. And this is the event link that I have. I'm going to tag it as an event right here, and I'm going to hit save. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm now going to write a post about the event. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go into the post. I'm going to use the same photo as the event photo, you see, so people recognize it. I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to write a post about the event. I'm going to use evyAI to write the post. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say, I am hosting an event on Thursday, the 29th of May, to talk about myself. Yes, I'm going to be talking about myself and sharing some things that people want to know about me. So if you have any things you want to know about me personally, not private, because I'm not going to share my private parts with you, but I am going to share some personal things about you so you can learn more about me and how I generated $1 million in revenue. So please come to the event. It's at 10:30 a.m. See the link in the comments below. I'm going to hit generate, and let's just see what it does. Hopefully it'll take out the part about the private parts. That's how my brain works. I'm going to press next. Over here it says, have you ever felt the urge to share your story but hesitate to do so? If I'm here to tell you your journey matters, on Thursday, I'll be hosting an event where I share my personal experiences, generating $1 million. Yeah, I'll be talking about myself, but more importantly, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, join me at 10:30. Boom, 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 boom. What's one lesson you learned on your journey that could inspire you? And I'm going to say post because that's good enough. You see that? And then in the comments of this post, now this post is going to get seen by 1,000 people. So in the comments of this post, I'm going to go and take this template. I'm going to put hang with Joe just like that. And I'm going to say sign up now. Okay, and I'm going to press comment. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link to this post and make a new template. And I'm going to say post about Joe event. And I'm going to hit paste. I'm going to delete this thing here. And I'm going to call this also event. And now I have three separate things. I have the post, I have the actual hanging event, and then I have the dashboard event question that I asked about the dashboard event. But I'll do another one saying, hey, you want to learn more about me? Blah blah blah. And now I can send this to people over here. Hey Joe, I wanted to pass along Rick's contact. He's been meaning to reach out to you, but feels unsure about how to start the conversation. He said to me, dear, send him a message and tell him, hey, what's going to help me find blah 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 blah. Okay, I don't even know what this all means. Okay. Dr. Doer, I'm going to invite Dr. Doer here and watch this. I am going to say, I'm actually going to send him this. So first I send him the post, and then I send him a thing that says, would you like to join that event next week? You see that? Why did I send the message after this? It's one of the 99 hacks. Why did I send a separate link after this?
They won't see it.
So
Yes.
it looks like a postscript.
Yeah, because look how it looks in small. Do you see? If I would have sent this word first or together with the link, it would have showed up above the link and he would have just seen a picture of me opening my mouth. But now he sees the message after. You see that? Now I'm going to make a smiley face next to it so it stands out even more. So he's going to think he's made a smiley face on it. You're like, hang on, I don't remember even seeing this. You get it? So I do that as well. All right, let me stop sharing my screen for a sec. And let me see what people are saying in the comments. By the way, did you guys get value from this today? Was this helpful for you? Yes? Okay.
Can I take the microphone real quick, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead.
I created a doc for this meeting, which if you don't have it, Rick can put it in the comments. But it's some more mechanical stuff. Joe highlighted some awesome stuff, but this will complement what you just saw there. How to crush LinkedIn events. Okay, so there's some step-by-step details. How you can invite 1,000 people per week. I just want to show you a couple things that are on this document. Number one, this is the link that Joe and I did from May 1st, so you can get an idea of the image you want to use. You can do this in Canva. If you're really nice to Joe's support staff, Jen DeCastro did this for me, but you can get an idea of what I put in the details about the event. Okay, this is my own writing and with a little help from evyAI and so forth. This is very useful. Now, this was created from my personal page. So when I click manage, I can manage attendees and I can generate with one swoop that tool that Joe has all on one thing. This I also included. This is an event I created from my company page just to show you the difference. And this is not a Joe event. On this particular event, I had to selectively invite business owners. Whereas if you work with Joe, in my opinion, everybody on LinkedIn is a target because everybody who's using LinkedIn needs evyAI. So the beauty of working with Joe to start with, not only is he a great presenter, he's going to take that off your plate, but the market for attendees is everybody on LinkedIn. So you don't necessarily have to do as much filtering. If you're marketing your own product, everybody on LinkedIn might not be a target market. You need to utilize some filtering. But just to show you the advantage of working from your company page, if you go into manage attendees, download registration info. This is not available if you do it from your personal page.
And that will include their email addresses.
And that will include their email addresses, which is the one benefit, in my opinion, of having a company page.
Yeah,
is this particular feature, because the trying to get their email, which is crucial, is you have to do some extra steps like the Apollo trick or whatever. If you do it from your company page, which I know most people don't have one, I'm not saying you get a company page. I'm just showing you the pros.
It's really easy to create a company page. You click on the For Business link on the top right corner where it says For Business, and then you click on Create New Company Page. It's really that simple.
It's not that hard, but it's just an extra step. So anyway, it's worth it for this because you need the emails not only for that Google Calendar hack that he just showed you, which is, by the way, I have that identified on this document, is how to do that if he went too fast. But also you want to add all those names to your CRM. And if you're working with Joe, This is my spreadsheet of everybody that I signed up. I sent this to Joe after the event because I'm using Joe's CRM because this is a Joe event. If you have your own event, you need your own. But another advantage of working with Joe and selling evyAI to LinkedIn is we're selling to the same people. So Joe kindly added all these email addresses to his CRM. So Joe is going to follow up with his content to all the people that signed up for my event, and he's tagged me in the CRM so that I am going to get credit for selling Joe's stuff. And in my document here, step 1 is become an evyAI affiliate. Here's the link. If you're working with Joe, step 1 is to become an affiliate. Okay, so you'll get credit for all this work you're doing promoting Joe's stuff. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to go through this whole document. There's a lot of good stuff on here. Everything in red is how I use evyAI in this process. But just to show you, I'm kind of going fast here. You need to research. Now, I have some different research than Joe recommended. I love what Joe's, that was beautiful. Then you got to set it up. You have some decisions to make, what kind of tech you need. You need to choose the date. People are asking me, how long in advance do you start inviting people? My opinion is depending on how many people you're inviting. If you're going to be inviting more than 3,000 people and you're limited to, 1,000 people a week on the LinkedIn invite thing, you want to set this up at least 3 weeks in advance so you can start inviting people in anticipation of the event. If you only have 500 invites you're sending out, you don't need to do it 3 weeks in advance, maybe 2 weeks in advance. But anyway, those are things to consider. Okay. Talk about Zoom setup. I recommend you talk to Jen DeCastro. She helped set up my Zoom for this. So, because I've done this before and I screwed up the Zoom setting and I had the chat turned off for a meeting, not the Joe meeting, but for years ago, and that's something you don't want to do. But Jen really helped me set this up. She's an awesome person. I highly recommend you actually connect with her. I got her profile here. I talk about the setup. Here are the 2 links to my personal invite and the company page one. And here's some more execution things. Some of these things Joe talked about already, including the Google Calendar hack. Anyway, this document is in school. What you want to do is open it and go to File, make a copy, and change the name to your own name because the link I'm giving you in school is the master link. And if you start editing this, everyone's going to get your edits. You got to change the name so that when you do edit this, it only goes to you. So I hope that was helpful. Joe did a great job. I know I was very fast here, but you have this as a reference. It's just some additional points of view that kind of supplement what Joe already talked about. I'll stop sharing. I hope that was helpful. Joe, you still there? Looks like he's gone. He must have got called away. He's showing his private parts, hopefully.
Yeah,
Great job, Murray.
he's in a call.
Does that make sense?
Yes, excellent. Thanks
So
for the document.
that is in school, and Rick also put it into the chat, I believe,
Yes.
somewhere. So I think one of the keys to take away from this is there is some prep to do. Joe gave some great ideas on how to survey and get ideas, but you also have to create the event. You have to decide on whether you're going to use Zoom. I don't even know if Google Meet does this, so you'll have to do some research on that. By the way, if Joe comes on, he can just interrupt me. And then there's LinkedIn Live, which is a whole different animal. We're not going to talk about that because you need different software that's streaming. That's a separate conversation. But there's different ways to promote this. I added a few in my document that he didn't cover. But the idea is it's a numbers game. There's a strategic way. If you have a partner, if you have somebody that's willing to work with you, and you invite them, if you invite them to the event, they can now invite 1,000 of their connections.
Like all the speakers on Latha's can each invite 1,000 themselves because that could be 5,000 or 6,000 invitees. By the way, Rhonda has her hand up, Murray.
Per week. Per week. So before I answer Rhonda's question, think about that. If you have somebody that wants to work with you, you can take advantage of their network, but you have to show them what we're doing here because they're not going to know how to do it blindly. But if you plan ahead, you can take advantage of this. If you only have 500 connections, this is why you always need to grow your network, because this is one thing that LinkedIn wants you to do. They encourage events. The whole advantage of using LinkedIn is you can invite all your first degree connections. So that's why you want to have a big network. And the beauty, again, I've said this twice now, but the beauty of working with Joe is everybody that you're connected with is a potential market when you're selling evyAI. But you may have your own services. Like I think Latha works with software companies, I think. That's not the whole LinkedIn audience, right? So she's going to have to filter her existing connections just to target what she does with software. You know what I mean? So you really need to build your big network. I hope that makes sense. Rhonda.
Not a question, but a suggestion that you may want to add to your amazing list of things. And I really appreciate you doing this because it's phenomenal. I don't know how many of you are using Eventbrite, but people go on Eventbrite looking
Yes.
for events. Here's the other thing, and Joe said this: do not call it do not call it a webinar. Okay, we are all webinared out to death. Call it a roundtable. Call it a master class. Don't use the word free. Use the word complimentary. I would also say make sure that you say for those who attend live, or if you're not going to give a replay, that gives people more of an incentive to show up. So, there is no replay. If you don't show up live, you lose it, right? Be there or you lose it. And just one other thing that I've tried in the past, and it's worked. I don't know if it's worked for you, but when I have slides, I'll have one slide and I'll say, okay, the first person to put in the chat who this is, and I'll have a bunch of influencers, get a $10 Starbucks card on me. I get everybody acting in that thing. They're actually interacting with me. And what does it cost me? $10 to give them a Starbucks card, right? But what I do is I basically say, put your answer and your email. So now I'm actually getting emails again, right? Which is kind of cool. So what I would say is, yes, ask your friends, okay? Rick, would it make sense for us to do a trade and you promote my event and I'll promote your event? Because we both believe in what each other are doing and we're not at all competing, but our audiences are complementary.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
then put it on Eventbrite. And the other thing is you could actually put it on Meetup. Okay. People actually go to Meetup looking for events. And even though your event is primarily a LinkedIn event, it's on freaking Zoom. People can come from anywhere. I have a client that I did this with. She's a financial advisor. I said to her, okay, you have all this compliance stuff. Everybody wants to know about Social Security, including me. I said, why don't you just get a really cool title for your event and put it on Meetup, put it on Eventbrite, put it on LinkedIn, and basically say, attention baby boomers, are you confused about Social Security? Come ask questions. Because you never know how much money you are potentially losing by not having the information.
True.
So
True.
there you go. I just wanted to add my 2 cents. It's probably not worth more than that, but there you go.
All right, I can keep going with some more stuff, or you don't have to hang around because we're already over. But I can add some more if anyone's interested. But I appreciate everybody showing up. I apologize. I thought I was going to present, but I'd rather have Joe talk. So Joe did great. We all know Joe is a great presenter.
You're
He
going to
has
do
all,
this again, Murray. We want to get round two.
well, okay. Yeah, I guess the key is, like anything else, the preparation is key. You got to know how it works. If I may suggest some more stuff that's already on that document, you should go in and play around with existing events, do an event search, and re-engineer what people are already doing, right? Let's go to LinkedIn here.
The other thing, Murray, that you can do is find somebody that's talking on your topic but doesn't do what you do.
Yeah.
And if they already have a large audience and they've already been doing it, say, how'd you like to do this together?
100%. So look,
And what's the worst they could say? They could say no. So so what? Okay, my kids say no all the time. Let's find someone else.
in that vein, so I just type in AI because everybody and their brother's talking about AI, and I go to events. These are all the events that are about AI.
You can't talk about AI. You told me you can't talk about AI,
Oh
Murray.
yeah, there's Jacob.
That's the old guy you said to
I'm
me.
sorry, as an old
Don't
guy,
talk about
yes.
AI.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just showing you an example. These are other
Yeah,
people
okay.
talking about AI.
What
So
not to do?
I mean, there might be people doing AI in your space, which you could partner with. Like if I was into this, look at there's 330 members here. So I could go in and click on this, and like I could see who's attending. I could see what they're calling it. And don't be afraid to say you want to attend this. Look, I have no interest in doing this. If I click on that event, watch what happens when I click attend. I'm going to attend. Now, I don't actually have to go. If I click attend, normally there's an add to your calendar.
You know what? The other thing, Murray, is click on the people that are attending. Okay. Now you just got the list of every single person that has raised their hand and said, I'm going to attend.
That's right.
Okay. They're
That's
already
right.
interested in your topic,
Yes.
right?
Yep. So you
So
can
if
go
you,
reach out to all these people, right? Because they already volunteered to go to one.
and you can go to the thing that Joe showed us, right? Which is contact out
Yep.
to get email addresses, right?
Yep.
And just say, hey, I would start out with saying, this is not spam, right? Because they're going to think it's spam because they don't know you. And make it really personal and say, hey, I noticed that you signed up for so and so's event. I did too. You know, send you an invitation on LinkedIn to connect, but I like email better. Just wanted to see if you might be interested in blah blah blah.
That's it. All right. There's a lot of power in events. Joe talked about a whole bunch of things. Um, I would say that I've done about 50 events and I screwed up about 40 of them. So everything I learned to not do, I put in that document. That's why it's kind of detailed. For example, setting up the Zoom. I think is Honey on this call? Either Honey or Jen. I worked with Jen a lot, both of them work with Joe. They will help you set up your Zoom setup because there's certain things you need to click off to make sure. You don't want to be a webinar. It has to be a meeting because a webinar eliminates the ability to accept chat. Oh, here he is.
I
All
am
right.
back. What did I miss?
I just went over. I had I
I
had a
saw
sheet
most of that.
prepared.
I saw
Yeah.
most of that, but the
Anyway,
developers needed me for something, so
that's
I'm back.
okay. No, we're glad to have you back. I just wanted to highlight a few things that were supplemented to what you said. And
Fantastic.
that document is in the group if anybody needs it. And I wanted to point out that working with you. So we want to teach you how to do events, but we're starting you. A good suggestion is your first event, work with Joe, because that eliminates a good chunk of the
Of you
set.
having to worry about what to say,
Exactly.
follow up, like all the different things, helping you be able to monetize it, and it's available for literally anyone that uses LinkedIn. So all of your connections, it's relevant to be able to be more successful on LinkedIn, and also will bring more people in the community, and also those people are your people, meaning when you bring somebody in, they're your clan. I want you guys to be leaders within our community where you all have your own clans of people within the community because now we have 1,000 clients, but we're going to have 10,000 clients soon. So as our business grows and we continue to invest in the business to be able to grow, you guys are going to be the savviest, the smartest, the leaders, the people on top, the first comers, like all that stuff. And people are going to turn to you and it's going to turn business for you. Like, I want you guys to make money off all these people. This is not just for me. I want you guys to live your mission and for us to be able to for it to be lucrative for everybody. It just makes sense. If you have a room of 1,000 engaged LinkedIn users, we can all make a very good living off it. It doesn't just have to be an evyAI thing. Like, I want you guys to all benefit. It's your house too. Bring people in, treat it like your house, like treat it like it's yours. And you'll see what happens. You'll see it's just a beautiful environment of people that just want to be here. So bring your people. Everyone should have 10 people in their life that they brought in. That's the idea. Have people that you brought in that will thank you. Rhonda, like Murray was saying on my post, he's like, "Oh, thanks Rhonda for bringing me in." Like think about that, and all the people that Murray brought in, and now people are saying, "Thank Murray for bringing me in," that Rhonda brought me in, and so on and so forth. There's going to be like a cataclysmic thing like that. And then you guys can also, I didn't talk about you guys hosting events together. So maybe Rhonda and Rick can do an event together. Or then maybe Murray, Rhonda, and Rick together with Lori, you can do an event together, and then you guys have one event that you do, one event, and then you all go in there and you each send 1,000 invites to your connections.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So, for example, I'll show you how that works from Tammy's side. So, check this out. And I did realize there's a glitch as well. But let's say, for example, I wanted to go to the event. See, I'm going to go in for my mother's profile because Tammy just changed her password, so I don't have access to her profile right now. But I'm just going to go in for my mother's event, my mother's place. This is my mother's profile. My mother's going to go ahead and give me some love here. Of course she does because she loves me so much. Wow, looking forward to the event.
Your mother follows you, Joe. That's good.
Yeah, she's ridiculous. Look how many followers she has. She already has like I don't know how she got this, but she has 11,000 followers on her profile. She's insane. She's doing insane stuff on LinkedIn. I don't even know how she has time to do all this stuff with how busy she is. But anyway, as you can see, she's a big advocate of mine. And look at this. Oh my God, again. I don't know why she has to do this. She has to like and comment on all my stuff. But anyway, so I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna click on my own profile from my mother's profile. And then I see that there is an event happening here, right? So I'm going to go into the event that's happening. And this is what the event looks like. I'm going to hit attend. And now my mother's attending this event. Now, once she's attending this event, what she can do is, of course, she could like the event over here. And she can be like, wow, what a great event. At Joe Applebaum. And then hit comment. And then instead of liking it with a regular like, she'll put a light bulb in. So they have all the 3 colors over here on the bottom left. And then she'll click on share, and then she'll click on invite. And now she can invite her own people. You see that? So she's going to pick Fort Lauderdale, Miami, show results. And then she's going to go ahead and load a bunch of people here that she's going to invite. And even if I used up all my 1,000 from Joe Applebaum, from Sarah Busu, she didn't use it. So now she's inviting 120 people. You see that? You see, she invited 120. So I can go keep doing the same thing with each person's profile. So if you guys are hosting events together, you guys can go ahead and invite your own network to it. And in future events, I'll show you guys how to do things that are like more automated, where you can have a list of people and then you can have maybe an agent go out and just invite those people manually one by one. So that could be really powerful. My team's calling me again. So let me just quickly grab this. But you guys chat about that for a minute.
I will say that so I did 2 events with Joe. We had a 240 and then 270. So that's a total of 500 people sign up. Now, I don't know if anybody who bought is on this call, but I made enough to pay for evyAI for 3 years. But that's also a whole bunch of people that were added to the CRM for future, so it's a numbers game. I invited a whole lot more than that. I invited about 5,000, and that was just for me, because I used not only the invite button, the share button on the event page, which he just showed you, but I also DM people. And then I also, every time I communicated with people, like I'm using the birthday promotion, I got templates. Templates got me through this whole thing. So I have a strategy that happy birthday, or, I've talked about this a million times. Congratulations on a new job. If they respond, I say, glad you liked it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, if I was having a LinkedIn, LinkedIn event to show you how to get clients on LinkedIn, would you be interested? So I use that same template on top of a template that I was responding to a template strategy.
Amazing.
You get it? Is that a little bit too much template there?
No, it's good. It's good. It's good for you guys to kind of use templates together, kind of group templates together. Even when you're promoting one thing, I'll do the link and then the template, two templates together. So you do templates that kind of go hand in hand together. You first send the link and then you send a message about the link. So you use templates together, and I love templates. Templates have changed my life as well. I use templates on my cell phone as well. So if you go to app.evyai.com/portal, you can see the same side panel on your cell phone.
Wow.
App.evyai.com/portal. You can make a shortcut to that on your desktop, so it looks like it's right on your desktop, and you open it up, and then you'll have all your templates there just like you would on the side panel, but it's on your cell phone. So I'm constantly using templates on my cell phone. It saves a ton of time. It cuts down your time to like nothing. Like somebody asked me a question, I open up my cell phone, I hit templates, boom, 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 and I send. I just basically peck at it with my finger. It's really,
I call
really
it
quick.
template stacking, Joe.
Template stacking. I love that. That's really, really good. It's really smart. So hosting events, like anytime we do a webinar, even if you don't want to host your own event, try this out. I want you guys to try this out. when we're hosting a webinar, if you go to evyai.com/webinar, there's a webinar coming up next week. Do you guys know that there's a webinar coming up next week on the 28th? We have an exciting webinar. By the way, it's about the dashboards.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. And you all said you wanted to come to that event. So what you do is you could say, you can message your connection, say, hey, I'm attending a class next week about how to manage my LinkedIn connections and turn them into a dashboard. Would you be open to coming to that with me? You see that? Now you're starting the conversation with one of your connections, with one of your prospects, and just doing them a favor. It's called feeding. You know, there's greeting where you're checking if somebody's alive. And then there's feeding if you're checking if you can add value somewhere. And then there's meeting, seeing if they actually want to build a relationship. So those are the three steps: greeting, feeding, and meeting. In feeding, one of the I's is invitation. There are three I's. There's the left eye, the right eye, and the third eye. The third eye is invitations. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You like the way I tied all that in together? So that third eye. So the first eye is introductions. Who do you want to meet? The second eye is information. What type of information or what type of ideas can I give you? And then the third eye is invitations to things. So you inviting people, but you don't just invite. You say, hey, I'm going to this thing. Would you like to come along with me? Are you available to come along with me next week? And again, you're not going to tell them the exact date and time because you want to establish curiosity first. And you actually want to do the dance with them. People want to do the dance with you. And it also looks so much more natural and less robotic and less automated if you're clumsy. And you're like, oh, you could have sent me all the information. Yeah, I'm not sending you a customer service email. When you're sending a customer service email, you want to send all the information at once, right? Don't make them go back and forth and fish for information. But this is not a customer service email. This is a relationship you're building in the DM to make it sound natural. So even if you're using systems and processes, your systems and process should look like, you're the only person I sent this to. That's why I like the first name hack. You know, Rhonda, da-da-da-da, Rhonda, da-da-da-da, Rhonda, da-da-da-da, Rhonda, da-da-da-da. Because I can send all the Rhondas, and no one's going to think that I send everything to Rhonda. And even if Rhonda spells it in the wrong way, I still misspell it. And people are like, you misspelled my name. I'm like, oh, I keep misspelling it. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when I don't use automation. I should use robots. I mean, the robot sent it. Anyway, that's the idea.
So I can't agree with you enough on the curiosity angle without using the date. That is such a key nuance. I want to add that I haven't said this yet on this call, but my messaging, and this is Joe coaching me, I'm having an event in a couple of weeks. Would you want to, blah, blah, blah. Would you want to come? And so I never said the date. We had the event. I had 35 people after the event was over saying, oh, I missed this. When is it? And I say, oh, sorry, we had it. I said, we had over 270 people sign up. It was pretty awesome. But lucky for you, we do have a recording if you want me to send it to you.
Murray, people are psychologically trained to say no. They love to say no. So when you give them a date or any detail like Joe's talking about, they're looking for a reason to say no. Don't give them that reason. Just say, I like the Chris Voss thing. Hey, I'm going to this thing to learn about AI. Would it be impossible for you to join me so we can both learn together?
Or would you be opposed? I love that.
So when they say no, it's really a yes. They say no, which is what they want to do anyway. They're triggered to say no.
Wow.
Hey, can I help you? No, I'm just looking. When you're at a store,
I get a little triggered when I get that. Just by the way, because I know the Chris Voss thing and I know the person's using manipulation. So somebody messaged me yesterday, literally yesterday. A guy messaged me and he said, "Joe, would you be opposed to doing a call right now?"
So you knew it was a tactic.
And I felt violated a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. I didn't mind. I kind of like shook it off a little bit. And I said, I'd love to do a call with you. And I'm not going to answer your way. I'm not going to be manipulated right now. But I understand you're trying to manipulate me to make it easy for me. If I was like, whatever, I would just say no. And that means yes. A no means a yes. A yes means a no. You're kind of dancing with my brain. My brain's twisting right now. But yes, that is something that FBI negotiators use and say, would you be opposed to? Would it be a terrible idea? Am I completely wrong to assume that blah, blah, blah? Am I completely disturbing your day right now and destroying your day with this cold call? I see a guy doing that all the time, making cold calls like that. Would you tell me to go to hell if I told you this was a cold call? Would you tell me to go bite myself if you told me? And that's a good way to kind of to get out of the loop that people are just saying not interested, not interested, not interested. But yes, that's a great thing. But just realize that people that are more savvy might get a little bit triggered by you trying to manipulate them if you don't have a relationship with them. So you could overuse that sometimes. So if you're dealing with CEOs that have watched Chris Voss and taken it, you do it, it's going to backfire on you. Sometimes it's better to be a little bit innocent and a little bit like, I don't know, I didn't know better. Like, I don't have all the perfect tactics, which that would work well with people who actually will respond to this. And sometimes people will say, no matter what I say, people will say, oh, is this AI? Are you a robot? And I was like, I can dance like the robot. Would you like me to do a robot for you? I have a robot GIF somewhere I can pull up, and then they laugh, and then we have a conversation, By the way, guys, you know how to do the robot? Can you do the robot with me? Can we do the robot together? Yes? No? Are you guys good at this? Can you do the
No.
robot? No? Can you do the finger robot? Can you do? Yeah, there you go. Barbara's got it. There you go. She's doing the robot. Exactly. There we go. Do the robot. Try to do the robot. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the idea. Be normal, be natural, be real with people and get to know them. But if you're going to the webinar next week, or even if you're not going, say I have this an event that I'm attending about dashboards. If you'd like to come, let me know. I'm happy to invite you as my guest.
Oof.
Even if it's a free event, I'd like to invite you as my guest, no cost to you. Let me know if you'd like to attend. And another strategy is, hey, I might be coming to your area. Are there any events that you're going to that you'd like to? Do you typically attend events? Are you going to any events in your area in the next week or two? Please let me know. That's another question, just to kind of see if they're the type of person that goes to events. Again, you're just kind of measuring the temperature to see what temperature it is with people. And that's a really important thing to do with people. If you're my kids call it testing. Dad, we're just testing you. We're just testing you. We're just testing you. We're just trying to see if you love us, like we're just trying to see how much you love us, to what point you're going to kick us out of the house. We're just trying to test your patience. You're testing your connections to see if they're responsive, if they're available, if they're interested in what they're interested in, because your job is to serve other people. Am I right? Is that why you're alive? To serve other people, to make a difference for other people? And you can't serve them unless you know who's responsive and who's actually active. So those are two really important things to determine from your list of connections. So if you have 3,000, 5,000, 8,000, 20,000, who are the responsive connections that will actually respond to you? And sometimes you'll try different things, and don't assume because they didn't respond for the past 15 times that they won't respond again. But at a certain point, you're going to remove them. If you see they're not active, if you see they're not responding, you just remove it and move on to another person who, look at all your Lisas and replace the ones that are not responding. Look at all the Barbaras and replace the ones that are not responding. And that's a guaranteed way to get through all of your connections through the first name hack. And thank you all for buying the 99 hacks. Oh my God. So many of you bought the 99 hacks. Thank you so much for buying it. I'm excited. I spoke to my person today and I was like, oh my God, we had 36 people that bought the 99 hacks so far last night when we just launched it. Even though I sent the wrong link to people by accident, people still managed to find the deal to get $900 off. So if you want the 99 hacks and you still didn't buy, just write 99 in the chat and one of our team members will send you the link to it so that you can buy the 99 hacks and get the $900 off it, which it's going to be $1,000, but if you buy it now, it's just $99. So if you want it, put 99 in the chat and I'll send you a link. Do you guys see the way I don't just send the link? I say put 99 in the chat and I'll send the link. If you're interested, put 99 in the chat and I'll send the link. I could just send a link, but I want to be able to give you something to do. So it's important to give people something to do. And this is really important also before the event. Telling people to share the event, to repost the event is really important as well. So if you're coming to the event, do you mind posting about it? Would you be open to sending a message to 2 or 3 people that you can bring along with you to the event that's coming? And if they say, who do you think, and here's another question you can ask people. If you're on the phone with someone, you can say, who do you think would be really good for this event that you can invite? I'm happy to send you an invite. Who do you think would benefit from this? Who's that one person in your network that can benefit from this? Again, we're not trying to trick people. We're trying to help them get what they want. If you help enough people get what they want, you can get anything you want in life. So just figure out who your people are. And if you don't have a list of people that are event goers, now's your chance to do this. Now's your chance to identify who are your, might I say, 10 people that would go to any event that you would make. Who are your 50 people? Who are your 100 event goers? And eventually, who are your 1,000 event goers? Where if you do an event, you know if those people are available, they're going to come to your event. Who are your 1,000 event goers? You guys get what I'm saying? This is different than people that will comment. These are people that are likely to come to an event in the future that you host. And when you do an event and 20 or 30 people show up, that's a big deal. If you get 10 people to show up to an event, that's a big deal. Most people can't even get one person to show up to an event. But if you do an event and 50 people come, people look at you like a massive champion. And you could do it. If Murray can do it, you can do it. I'm not saying Murray's like whatever. I'm just saying if Murray can do it, he hustled, he made it happen, you can do it. And by the way, now it's your job to find out how all those people can refer business to you. Now that you have their attention, you can get on the phone with them, you can build a relationship with them, and so on. So make sure that people know about your events. Make sure that you have an event coming up. Make sure that you're promoting the people that you respect, their events, by asking people if they want to come with you as their guest. And if you do all these things correctly, you're much more likely to be able to generate sales, generate meetings, have more conversations, and build more relationships. That's what it's about. And if you're a pro member and you want to host a regular event, Barbara has an event on Friday, tomorrow at 11 a.m., I believe. Right? It's 11 a.m. Eastern, or is it 10 a.m.? Is it 11? It's 11, right?
11.
You want to tell everybody why you host that event every Friday at 11 a.m.?
Because I know how important networking is. And I realize that, we're living in this still crazy society that I live in Vermont. It's harder to meet people, and I always need to be meeting people. So it's a gift to be able to network with everybody.
And you have an ecosystem of people that are going to show up anyway. So you automatically have a dozen people that are coming to the event. Now the hard work is going to be for you to go on LinkedIn and find 2-3 dozen people that are going to guaranteed to come to your every Friday event. That's going to be your work. And then maybe find 1 or 2 other people that will help you find people to come to the event. And if you have a nice event with a few dozen people there that you're hosting every Friday, you're doing more than most. You're doing much more than most. And when a guest comes and sees you like that, that's a prospect. They can be like, holy shit, I want to work with her. She has influence. That's powerful. And so make sure to have a regular event. Could be monthly. It could be twice a month like Rick. It could be once a month like Murray. Make sure you have an event that you're hosting that people are interested in. And if you guys want to do another one of these events about events, we can do another one. And next time we can actually go live together. And I can show you how I do a LinkedIn Live, how I prepare for one, how I schedule one, how I go live with it, and then how I promote it before, during, and after. We can do one. Murray, if you want to do one like that, because we're doing one about Zoom. I didn't even get into LinkedIn Live.
It's
So
a
we
whole
can even
different
do one.
animal, different tech.
Yeah, we can do one for the end of June. We can,
Yeah.
Murray, hit up Jen, pick a time, put it in the calendar, co-host that with me, and let's make it happen. That could be a fun thing to do.
Awesome. I will. I'll tell you what, on that one, Joe, I'm going to let you present.
You're gonna let me present?
Yeah, I don't know anything about LinkedIn Live.
You
so.
do know, well, you know all the components that it takes to get people to show up to an
The
event.
promotion, yes.
Right, but the actual LinkedIn Live, we'll get into it, but we'll still have to cover some of the promotion because it's all the same.
Okay.
So
That'd be
you'll
great.
take a lot of the
That's a
tips
great
that
idea,
I have,
actually.
yeah.
I would like to learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe, this is what I was talking about. If you put yourself on the spot, Murray, to do this, you're going to learn how to do it much quicker.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any spot.
Yeah, and then
Like there's
guys,
one right there.
yeah. And guys, think about it. I put up a thing in the community with a list of all the different types of events that I want to host. There are prospecting parties. There are networking parties. There's so many different parties that I put up there with different ideas of things that I recommend that you guys, that we can all do as a community. Even just kind of like co-working time. You know, Carlos does co-working all the time. You can pick a thing that you do on a regular basis where you make yourself available in the community. It could be on, let's say you're in the West Coast, maybe you do an evening once a week where you make yourself available in the community and people just show up. And it doesn't have to be a presentation. You guys are just working together, doing some activity, but it's consistent and you can invite some of your other clients to join that as well. You will have an automatic community. Remember, we already have 1,000 people in school. Think about that. We already have 1,000 people and they're all pre-vetted to use LinkedIn. They're all LinkedIn users. And we have all their email addresses. And I basically say no to all the spammers that are fake people. And many of them are clients of evyAI. So they're people that pay. People that pay attention. And so go through the membership that is already in the school community and make them your people. Like build a real relationship with them, get to know them, and make sure that you have regular events that you host. You know, the reason I was so successful in the Marketers Cruise when I went is because I hosted my own events within the Marketers Cruise. And nobody asked me to host the events. Nobody even knew that I was hosting the events. They weren't official events, but I just hosted events. and people showed up to the events and they loved it. And this year they asked me to officially host events.
Wow.
And I did one event, 55 people came to it live in person. They had nowhere else to go on the cruise. I did it next to the buffet. It was really
Wow.
easy.
Joe, could you repeat some of those unique naming tactics you use? You mentioned boot camp, round table, mastermind. What were some of the others?
Okay, so I like doing round table, like the marketing directors round table. I like doing like the sales navigator boot camp. I like doing the LinkedIn training accelerator program. So accelerator is a good word. I like doing a strategy session. So doing strategy sessions with people is fun. I like the word forum as well.
Mm.
Those are all really, really good words.
I've used that one.
It also depends on what your clients would want to hear that would resonate with them. So it could be class, it could be workshop,
Workshop.
it could be crash course, master class.
Not to hijack that answer, but talking about members, Jacob, I think, is still on this call. Jacob lives in Copenhagen. I
Copenhagen.
found, well, outside of Copenhagen. He thinks no one knows any towns in Denmark, so he said he's from Copenhagen, but he's from a small town outside. Anyway, I met him on school. We're now partners.
Wow. Tell me
And
more.
well, he's an AI expert,
Wow.
but he has a different angle, and plus he's a great guy. I mean, it's really the relationship that's first and then the skill set. And uh anyway, is he still on? Are you on,
Yeah,
Jake?
yeah, I'm here. I'm just
There
letting
he
you
is.
talk.
Yeah. So Jacob is an evyAI client. Jacob, thank you for being a client of evyAI. We love having you all the way from Denmark. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Really excited that you're here, and we're always here to happy to help people, especially new clients that are part of our community. So, feel free to set up one-on-ones with people. You can set up a seminar, you can set up a blueprint, a boot camp, a symposium, a summit, a clinic, a retreat, a cohort, a lab, a sprint, a hackathon, a deep dive, an immersion, a
Ooh.
mastermind.
Oh, he's
a
looking
ja-
up. He did a search.
I'm
No,
thinking he
no, he
used
wouldn't. He
AI.
wouldn't do that. I've never seen that on a call that he
Yeah.
has done
Hackathon.
something
A
like that.
hackathon, a brain
Hackathon.
trust, a huddle,
Ooh.
a
Yeah.
huddle, a
And this-
roadmap,
And this is gonna be a post right in a minute.
Yes, it is.
a tutorial, a panel. Imagine doing a
Yeah.
panel discussion, a demo day, a
Ooh.
fireside chat, a LinkedIn hack exchange.
We can do a
Ooh.
quiz. We can do a quiz about Murray's favorite burger.
Joint in
Truck,
yeah.
station, truck shop.
It's a gas station. It's a gas
gas
station.
station. Yeah, sorry.
It's the
Yeah,
best burger joint in Copenhagen. It's a former gas station.
yeah. He
Amazing.
can't
Those are
stop
the best
talking about
ones.
it. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So I want you guys to really think about hosting your own event, hosting your own thing, and then, realize that you deserve to have your own little community. You deserve to have a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen people, that are your clients, that are your disciples, that you brought in, that you take care of in your world, and that refer business to you constantly. I want you guys to have that. That is something that will bear a lot of fruit for you. Right, Rick?
Yes. Can I plant the seed with you, Joe?
Plant away.
I think sometime next year or at the end of the year, possibly next year, we should do a live event in Nashville, Tennessee. It's very centrally located, east to west coast. Do a live hackathon. No, a live event where we all come together and have a good time. And I'll help organize it if you
do
guys
it.
want to do it.
Let's do it. Let's do one over there. It would be interesting for each person to take on to do it at a different time. Like we could do one near Rhonda in San Diego. Like whoever wants to host an event. Rhonda does a speakeasy mastermind there anyway, so she could do it around that time, and it kind of like, it could even be a recruiting event for that. But yes, that's a great idea, Rick. I'm in for it. Just let me know when it's convenient for you and when you want to do it, and let's set up some planning sessions, because it will take some planning. But I love Nashville, Tennessee. I love Knoxville, Tennessee. I love Memphis, Tennessee. But Nashville's right in the middle of both
Vegas,
those.
Music City, baby. We'll have a
Music
good
City,
time.
of course. And we could do a launch pad, a lecture, a town hall. We can do a Codfest, a brainstorm. We can do
He's like
office
bubblegum
hours.
shrimp in Forrest Gump. You know, shrimp potatoes, shrimp souffle. We'll have some shrimp grits, shrimp pancakes.
An open
can-
mic, a lightning talk, a project showcase. We can do a parlay if you want. Maybe
Send
a
us
brain
that
date.
list, Joe. Send us that
It's
list.
We can all-
coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Put it in the community.
I
We can all be
will.
roosters on our own fences.
The Meister
Yeah.
list.
100%. And if you guys want an orientation, if you guys want a walkthrough, maybe even like, you know, an onboarding. Do you guys know we have an
Oh.
onboarding twice a week, twice a month? We have an onboarding. So all those little words that you use are powerful words that people want to pay for. That's the key, because people want to value a product, turn it into a product. That's powerful.
Awesome.
I'm
might
glad
even
I asked
create
you that question, Joe.
what I'm going to do, what I might do is I might vibe code a tool where you put in your word and it gives you 100 options instantly
How to
with
name it.
your word with a naming tool.
Yes.
That's a good idea for vibe coding, for me to vibe code another
I
tool. a
second that
naming tool.
emotion.
Oof.
Amazing. Amazing. With no AI. I'll just do it with JavaScript because I already have all the names. So I'll just do it with JavaScript so you don't need AI, but then I'll have an AI version as well where it goes into ChatGPT and gives you names. That's cool. What do you guys think of like Salon, Mixer, Meetup? I like those. Leadership, Growth Track, brainstorming sessions, build-a-thons. Oh my God, I'm so excited right now. Power Hour, incubators. Okay.
Jesus.
Amazing, amazing. So there's no limit to what we can do. So I'm excited that you guys are here. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you guys so much. And if there's anything that you need from us, let us know. We're always happy to help. And just remember to be active in the community. Go through people's posts, comment on them. Inside school, you know, I've generated tens of thousands of dollars from other school communities just from being active in their community. And many of them don't even have as many members as we do. Sometimes there's 38 members in a community. I join it and I'm active in the community, and all of a sudden people know me and they want to buy my product or service. It's just an interesting concept. So leverage our community. I'm not saying go out and join other communities. What I'm saying is our community itself has so much potential. And when you message somebody inside our community, even if you only message one person a week, you're messaging them and that's the only message they're getting. It's not like on LinkedIn where you're DMing 1,000 people, but actually book meetings with people, get to know them, and check out the most engaged members. Those are the people you should focus on.
Didn't you say we're one of the most active communities out there, like up 30%?
Yeah, we're in the top 300 school communities in the world. There are over 100,000 communities.
That's unbelievable.
That's because we do our posting. I do it specifically in that way where everybody comes in and engages and likes and comments, and it just brings up our metrics really high. All right. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys very much, and I'll see you guys in
Great
the next
job.
session.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Rick, for
Thanks,
all your
Murray.
help.
Awesome.
Bye.